Hi guys, welcome back to my Flosstube number 10. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you all the stitchy things that I did in the last 2 weeks. I have 2 of these episodes a month. Every other Sunday usually is when I film. So I'm going to start off with sharing the whips that I worked on this week, the works in progress. There was a couple new starts. One was like a restart, so we'll get into that. So firstly, we're going to look at what I worked on and what I was excited about putting my needle to this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, let's get started on whips. Here is my Lehi piece that stands for Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing the Grand Library, and here is where I got to this week. So each week I do another row diagonally. So that means like this, it's getting larger as we go across. So I'm going to show you side by side with where I finished up after last week's video. This is also the only project that I was working on this week where I wasn't working in hand. I was still using this Q-snap, and I might take off the Q-snap for this project too. I just have been enjoying working in hand so much. So yes, this piece is being stitched on a 28 count even weave 1/1, and I was really happy to start seeing some of these colors in here come out. Even though purple is my favorite color, this was all just like too muddled. I couldn't really tell if there was anything going on, and so I'm really loving that there's some shape forming there. So next time you see me, I'm going to be coming over in this direction, filling out this much like that, and I am excited to see this start to take shape. Alright, so next let's look at Spring Montage. This is my favorite project currently. I'm just really enjoying it. This is double the size of the Lehi because this one, well, it's almost double. That one's on 28 count over 1. This is on 18 count over 2. And, or it might be 16 count. But it's just like, it's a lot easier to see what's going on because it's so much larger and totally different color scheme here. I have all of these greeny golds and then some yummy spots of warmth with each of the little cherry blossoms. So really enjoying this. So I went from here and did about that much wide, I think, and we went down. So I'll put this side by side next to where I finished up last week. But yeah, I'm just really liking it. Here's my mess of parking threads. So that's fun. And I took this one out of the Q-snap this week and much preferred it to I preferred stitching in hand a lot more. So here's my Spring Montage, and you will see more progress on this by the next time we meet. Here is my next piece, and this is the one that got me into stitching in hand this week. This is the Supernatural Stitch Along from the Witchy Stitcher, and I just love the Gothic motifs. It's going to be so fun. I've been meaning to stitch on this. I've been meaning to start this for a really long time. So this is a piece of, I think it's just maybe 16 count Aida, and then I hand dyed it with some Rit dye and gave it this kind of toasted marshmallow look, and I really like it. So far I just did the whole border in black, and then this, as it comes in here, it needs 2 more thicknesses, so it's going to go in 2 more rows, and then the whole border will be done of the black portion. There's going to be some skulls up here, so there's some of the other colors, but I wanted to get the black done, and I just love her font. It's so beautiful. So I'm really excited to have finally made a start on this. I had put it off for way too long because I want to have a Halloween piece ready to go for Halloween. I don't know if it's going to be this one, but I really like it, so I'm excited. So it just goes down. The bottom is plain. On the corners there's those little bits there, but it just has like this kind of lacy edging, and then the top is where all the ornate stuff is. So really like this. As you guys know, in my description bars I always link where you can go to purchase the patterns. This is just a PDF, so it's really easy. You purchase it and you can get started on it that day if you want. You just need a lot of black. This, what you see here, is 1 full skein of DMC 310, and I had to start a new one, here. So you do use up a lot of black with this pattern, but it turns out really striking and beautiful. Alright, the next piece that I worked on is from Forest Embroidery, and do you guys remember this piece? This is the one that I started on, I think, some Aida, and I started with the DMC conversion that the chart has. I just purchased the PDF. And so I didn't get it with the kit, and I started with the DMC colors and discovered that they were actually like really boring compared to what the chart looks like online, because the chart has variegated silks. So like for example, these are all the same thread right here, but it gives it a really lovely variation. And I just was really sad by how it was turning out. I especially love this color up here. So I just went ahead and picked out my own dinky dye colors to complement the picture. Like I noticed that I needed 3 different reds, so I picked out 3 red shades. Some of them are more variegated than others. It's definitely more of a muted palette than they have on their design, but I'm really enjoying it, and I like it so much better than how it was before. So this is my restart that I was talking about, and I'm really, really into it. I think the only color that isn't in play yet is this really bright orangey red, which is going to bring in a lot more of the brightness. So that's going to be fun. And if you haven't tried out Forest Embroidery, check them out. All of their designs are so, so beautiful. And this is stitched on Fabric and Flair 40 count historic green. So it's printed to look like a modeling, like a hand-dyed modeling, but it's just printed. So you can get your pieces a lot, it's a much more budget-friendly price point to do it that way. So I got this from Stitchery Express, I believe, online. So I'll link that as well. The final whip that I had since my last Flosstube is starting out like this. This is called a tasket from Rosewood Manor. And one of the YouTube channels that I discovered this last 2 weeks, Sarah's Stitchy Spot, she was actually working on this, and she showed her progress, and I was like, oh, I need to start that. It's been sitting in my stash. I need to start it. So I was really, really excited to give it a go. As you can see, it's stitched on much more of like a yellow bone mottled look, but I decided to stitch it on something that was closer in color tone to the flosses. So the flosses look like this. We have all of these grays and some gray, kind of creamy neutral, but mostly gray and blue gray. So I had this piece of 28 count even weave, and I hand dyed this with 2 different gray RIT dyes and a couple different strengths of the darker one, and I think it was pearl gray and charcoal or something like that. So I just hand dyed it to give it a really nice effect. I'm really enjoying this piece. So this, however, was not big enough to do the design if I didn't do it over 1. So I had to kind of pull my pants up and decide that I was going to do another over 1 piece. But what I discovered that over 1 on 28 count, I discovered that the reason I disliked doing it that small so much was because I was doing it with the Haid piece, and that was just really, really hard because it was a ton of confetti. But with this, it's so, so small. I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. It's so small, but it's not so bad when you can clearly see where you have to go, and you're not just like shoving a bunch of colors in together that don't have any rhyme or reason from the direction that you're looking at it. So really enjoying this. I think it's going to be so, so nice on this piece of fabric. And I'm also working this in hand. Like I said, everything except for that Haid I was working in hand this weekend, just really loving it, because I hate pulling my arm around the hoop, and I'm not ambidextrous enough to be able to use both hands at the same time. In case you're wondering what's on my hands, by the way, this is it's a different color, obviously. This is the new Swatchfest exclusive that we made on Saturday. This is Pool Party. So it works as a topper and its own polish. So this is how it looks as a topper over a bunch of different colors. So that's what's on my nails. That is it for my whips. All right, guys, so those are all of my whips for this week. I really, really loved everything that I was working on this week. And as you know, the spring montage and the Haid piece are ongoing projects that I'm going to do every week. And so you'll see a little bit of progress on that. And I'm trying to put in those pictures for you so you can see the side by side and see how much progress I've made since the last time I worked on that piece. Okay, so next is haul. I have just a little bit of haul to share with you. So let's take a look at that. As far as haul, I made one purchase in the last 2 weeks. And one of the charts I got is the Blue Flower or the Blue Flowers Huckleberry Farm. And I have to admit, I'm probably super drawn to this because it is stitched on a lovely purpley gray. But I just think it's really cute. I love all of the little berries in the border there, and especially this butterfly here. So it's just so cute, and it had been in my wish list for a long time, so I decided to snag that because I was on 123 getting some more of those dinky dyes. I needed to get a few more colors, and so I also picked up this, which I saw somebody post about in the Facebook group Cross Stitch Unlimited. And here's the brand, and this is Autumn Sampler. And actually I saw somebody post about the Winter Sampler, which looks like this. This is just like a little ad that they have for it in this kit. It comes as a kit, and somebody posted that, and I was like, wow, that's really pretty. And then I went to go look at it, and they had all the seasons, and this one was really calling to me because look at all these colors together. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is my color palette for sure. So I'm really excited for this, and I don't know, I might have to start this week. I'm gonna ask you guys what you think in just a minute. So next I want to talk with you about some channels that I have been watching and loving lately. So I've been really enjoying Stitchin' Mommy. She puts up a lot of videos, so when I'm in the mood to just have something going, I really enjoy her. She does a lot of very small stitching on really small count, which is something I've been trying lately, so that's enjoyable for me as well. She is also the YouTuber that inspired me to kind of randomly generate a work in progress that I haven't touched in a while into my rotation for that 2-week period. So I'm going to be picking a project from my Mania, all those projects that I started like the first 22 days of Mania this last year. I'm going to be picking a project with you here live in just a moment that I'm going to insert into my rotation of whips this week until the next time you see. We'll look and see how much progress I've gotten on that because I just haven't touched those items in a while, and some of them I still really love, so I want to make sure and get some progress on those because my natural tendencies is just to start a lot of new things. Another channel that I've been loving is Sarah's Stitchy Spot. She is just the sweetest and the cutest. I absolutely love her, and I found that we are working on some of the same projects. Another channel, if you want a whip parade that will just make you sit there and just jaw open in adoration, Stitching Faye is just so gorgeous. Everything she does, she has this beautiful presence and this gorgeous passion for all of her work, and it's like a 4-episode long whip parade. It is intense and amazing, but if you just want to see a whole ton of projects, go check out her channel. I've also been watching the Colorado Stitcher, Saltbox Stitcher. I will be putting those in the description bar below. If I've misnamed any of those channels, I apologize, but you'll find them all linked down below. So as for what I'm going to work on this week, you know I'm going to have Spring Montage and my Haid out this week, and then I'm going to pick a project from Stitch Mania right now. So let's find out what my random project is for this 2-week period. Alright, so I'm going to be picking randomly one of my Mania projects from this year to work on in the next 2 weeks. And these are the ones that I'm still interested in stitching. So I finished just one of my Mania projects, and then a few others I'm just not really in the mood to stitch anymore. Sometimes your preferences change, and I'm not in the mood right now, but these ones I'm still into. So Joy's going to help me pick which ones. So she's going to put a random generator up here. Oh, we have to change the final number. We need to change it to 15. Okay. Now we can see, oops, what you're going to get, Joy. Okay, click randomize. Okay, number 9. Can you tell me what number 9 is, Joy?
Okay, so number 9 is half the fun.
Okay, so that's my ink circles piece that I started actually when I took a trip to Florida with Salem and Oliver for their graduation present. I started it on that trip. So that's going to be really fun. I will show you guys a picture of what that looks like right here so you can see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to try to incorporate a new project like this into my rotation for the next little while in Flosstube, and we will see what I can get working on. All right, and then besides those 3 projects, I think that I really want to start one of the kits that I got kind of ish for my birthday. I got 2 of them for myself and 1 was from Heidi. I'm going to show those to you right now and think about what I want to start this week, but I think that I want to pick one of those to do, so I'm really excited about that. All right, so out of the 3 kits I was talking about that I got for my birthday, and I want to start one before we meet next. This one that I just hauled for you guys was one of those kits. So I want you to comment, let me know, should I start this one? This is Autumn Sampler. Or should I start this one, which Heidi gifted to me for my birthday, and it's in a language that I don't understand. So we'll just call this one the vase project. If you want me to show the vase project, then put that in the comments down below. Isn't that pretty? It's like watercolors. So pretty. And then this is the 3rd option, and this is the one that I purchased at Shepherd's Bush on my birthday. And this one is called Sail Away. So this, and this one uses all kinds of silks. Each of these has their fabric all ready for them, and so if you want me to start Sail Away, then comment Sail Away and we'll see what you guys want to see me work on. And that pretty much wraps up everything stitchy that I did in the last couple weeks. I had a wonderful last little bit of summer. The kids and I have been going to the pool a lot, but getting back into school has really just helped regulate everything, finding more time to get work done. I actually get a little bit more stitchy time too, which is amazing. So anyway, that's me. I hope that you've been enjoying your stitchy time the last couple weeks, and thanks to those of you who've been sharing with me what projects you've been starting, maybe that I've inspired you to pick back up this hobby, and I hope that you enjoy yourself. It brings you some peace and mental health wellness, because that's why I do it. And that's going to be it for today's video, so thanks for stopping by. I will see you back for another one in 2 weeks. Until then, have some fun and take care. Bye!